Okay, guys, I'm Scott from Digital Shovel. Move left, beautiful, right into the really, really bright lights. I'm getting a suntan. All right, so Bitcoin mining shipping containers are dead. Name of our speech. First, I'm going to go in a little bit into Digital Shovel, who we are, for those of you that don't know us. I started mining in 2016, doing some GPU mining in a couple rooms of my house. Built a couple shipping containers for myself, and next thing I know, people were asking us to build containers for them. That was in 2018. We now have 75 full-time staff, 85,000 square foot of manufacturing facility. Everything is done in-house. So metal fabrication, we've got laser punch press, turret line, we've got an automated folding line, 3 brake presses, robotic welding systems. We do manual welding as well, but to drive efficiency, we have fully automated load and unload welding cells to do our M300 and our I300 line. And most recently for our smart PDUs, we just put in a full surface mount line as well as through holes so we can do PCB assembly, dramatically reducing the lead times for our production. When we got our start, like I said, we started with conventional shipping containers. So the one here on our left, that was my first shop. It was outside using die grinders to cut shipping containers apart and build racks. I'm sure many of you are familiar with that process, which was great, and that's all we had at the time, and we evolved. But there was a better way. There's a bit of challenges when you're using a 40-foot shipping container, and that's where the title of this speech comes from. Why do I say Bitcoin mining shipping containers are dead? There's a lot of challenges with using a conventional container design. One, you're trying to design around a container. You're not trying to design the most optimal data center. You're trying to build within this envelope, and there's certain constraints that you end up having when you do that. And when we got started, we had no other option because we couldn't build our own containers. Some of the limitations that come from that, for instance, if you're in gas production, you might have a natural gas well that's flowing at a certain rate. 6 months later, it's not producing the same. If you put a conventional container there, you can't just take a part of that container and go and put it somewhere else. Same goes with your generators. If you've got a fixed generator size, you've got to pair that generator perfectly with your container in terms of the size of it. And if you don't, you're either going to have wasted generator asset or you're going to have wasted container asset. Exact same thing applies to your transformers. So we've moved to this modular solution where we've got completely custom-made pods. They're 300 kilowatts each, and I can take multiple of them and string them together using a common overhead electrical busway and go all the way up to 3 megawatts once you add our switchgear unit. This gives you a huge amount of flexibility. You can go up and down in terms of, don't know what happened to my animation, but you can go ups and downs in terms of the size of your pods. Size of your transformer, size of your generator. If you have a well, like I referred to earlier, that's producing less, you can take one of those pods, go and put it at another site, and you don't end up with these underutilized assets or underutilized power generation. So like I mentioned in the earlier slide, we can start at 300 kW and continue to scale up all the way to 3 megawatts. And each of these units, it might seem like a random dimension, they're built for a very specific reason. That's not just making it the most optimal data center and efficient data center possible, but also make it extremely optimal for shipping and logistics. The unit can fit inside of a 40-foot shipping container with a half-inch on either side, which is great for our overseas clients. It can be lifted up with a 5,000-pound forklift. You don't need to have an expensive rigging crew and a crane on site. You don't have to time having a crane there with your truck, which doesn't always arrive at the exact same time, and you end up paying wait time. This you can just pick up with a standard 5,000-pound forklift, drop them on the ground when the delivery comes, and then when your stuff is ready to actually install them, same guy can take and pick it up and move it over. So how do we make that even more efficient? So we've taken from our fully welded unit, and we now make the pod to come apart in pieces. So it actually can ship as a flat pack or a bolt-together unit. My friend there from Crypto Logistics teed us up pretty well. He said you can't really ship a container by air. Well, this unit you can. This unit comes as a flat pack, and I can fit 3.3 megawatts worth of containers inside of the same space as a regular 40-foot shipping container. It takes 3 guys approximately 3 hours to put one pod together. You're saving 70% on your shipping and logistics cost, and odds are your labor is going to be cheaper than me building them in our factory, and we pass that cost on to our customers. While I'm talking about our pods, you see at the back of our booth over there, we also brought in our new nanopod. This is for smaller miners, 120 kilowatts less, or 120 kilowatts and less. It operates on single-phase power. It takes 2 skid spaces, but also ships as a flat pack as well. All of this product is over there at our booth. Happy to answer any questions anybody has over at our booth. You can check them out. You can get us at digitalshovel.com or at digital_shovel. Thank you so much.